Hello everyone, this tarot reading is focusing on what is it that makes you unique. So I was walking home today and I was thinking I have no idea what question I want to focus on for doing the collective tarot reading. And literally a few moments after I was thinking about that, I walked past a snowflake on the floor. The snowflake was part of like some Christmas decoration. And I kind of, when I saw that sparkling in because it was night, obviously it's dark when I finished work now, but I saw it sparkle on the floor and I thought to myself, no two snowflakes are ever the same. Each one is completely unique. And then I kind of like felt like confirmation that this was the energy I wanted to explore in this reading. So that is what I'm focusing on. What is it that makes you unique? Honestly, there's so much that I'm picking up, so I think I'm going to ramble on about loads of stuff and all the things that I'm picking up on, so heads up with that. But when the cards were coming out, when the cards came out, I was meditating and I was looking at everything, and oh god, it wouldn't stop, but my head kept singing just this one line, kept singing that song. What was it? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Repeating and repeating. So, I actually really like that song came out. It came into my head, if that makes sense, because it really does. It kind of fits perfectly with what I'm picking up with this reading. So, I'm going to start with the Animal Oracle. There's a lot that I'm picking up, so I do apologise if I'm going everywhere. So the Animal Oracle card that's come out is Snake, and it says live according to your divine essence. So snake energy is deeply connected to shedding skin, transformation, healing and growth. And it speaks of going through uncomfortable phases, shadow work, deep inner change, but then coming out of it wiser, lighter and more aligned. I feel you're somebody that you're not afraid of growth, even when it requires like releasing old versions of yourself, old habits, or even relationships that you know that no longer fit. And the live according to the divine essence, that's all about shifting out of ego-based living, fear, labels, conditioning, past wounds, and moving into a soul-based living where you act from intuition, inner truth, and, my darling, authenticity. I actually feel with the energy that you're someone, you're very emotionally mature, okay? You understand on a deep level. It's kind of like, I feel like you understand on the deep level that you're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, not your job or your circumstances. It's kind of like the way that you see it is like those are things that you experience, but they're not who you are. Your essence is the observer behind all of it. And I feel as well, you're someone who listens to gut feelings and inner nudges with the snake. When something doesn't feel right, you notice it. And when something aligns, you feel that too. Even if it doesn't always make logical sense at first. And I feel as well your desires don't come from needing to fit in or be accepted. They come from a deeper place, the urge to create, to help, to heal, or to follow a path that feels right, even if it is scary, my darling. And there's also, there's so much I feel with this reading, but you have this ability to truly see others. And what you do is I feel you look beyond the surface appearances, beyond their behaviour, beyond the labels. And I feel like you can sense a spark of life in people, even when they're struggling or acting out. So there's kind of like a purity and compassion to that, my darling. And I actually feel it comes from having accepted your own depth. You're comfortable, definitely comfortable shedding old skins and trusting that you're supported as you step into more of a authentic version of yourself. highly, highly intuitive energy comes through here. And for some of you, that intuition kind of like borders onto psychic awareness. You don't ignore the signs, my darling, the messages or the guidance. And I really do feel that you are brave enough to go into shadow. Go into the shadow and do the inner work. And that is, it can be uncomfortable. So, moving on to the tarot, you have the Page of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Hanged Man reversed, and at the bottom of the deck you've got the Magician reversed. So, the Page of Swords, it shows that there's a huge part of what makes you unique is your mind. You are naturally curious, observing and questioning. You don't accept things at face value. You want to understand how and why things work the way they do. And you also as well, my darling, you notice details others. Oh gosh, I'm getting tired. I'm so sorry. You notice details that others miss, and even when you're quiet, your mind is always active, gathering information and making connections. And as well with the Page of Swords, there's a very youthful sharpness to your thinking, a willingness to keep learning and evolving. So it's lovely. With the Eight of Swords, so what stands out is, to me, it's like your relationship with discomfort. You, my darling, you're really able to sit with your own thoughts, even if they're heavy or anxious ones. And that's a difficult energy. not many can do that. Okay, so that's pretty powerful. You're okay being alone with your mind. No matter what the situation, environment or mindset you find yourself in, you're someone as well who eventually finds a way through it. You, my darling, you face your fears and you learn from them, and you gain the insight from feeling stuck. This gives you, my darling, the deep empathy and understanding of mental and emotional struggles, both within yourself and in others. Okay? And with the Hanged Man reversed, that shows that you don't stay stuck forever, my darling. You may pause, you may reflect, and you may sit in uncertainty. But there comes a point where you choose movement. So what makes you unique, my darling, is knowing when reflection has done its job and it's time to shift perspective and move forward. You, my lovely, are not afraid to see things differently. And you do not cling into stagnation once you've learned what you've needed to learn. And with the Magician reversed, that adds an important layer. This, my darling, suggests that your uniqueness isn't loud or performative. You don't need to prove your power or abilities to others. You actually feel, with the Magician being reversed, you might even downplay your talents at times. But the truth is, your magic is internal, okay? It lives in your awareness, your intuition, and your ability to observe, transform, and adapt. And when you align, my darling, fully with your divine essence, that inner magic becomes effortless and authentic rather than forced. So what makes you unique is the combination, I would say, of depth and awareness. You, my lovely, you think deeply. You actually feel deeply, and you grow deeply too. You're willing to shed skins, face discomfort, question reality, and then actually also listen to your inner truth. So, pretty cool person. I hope this reading's helped in some way. Have a good day. Bye-bye.